Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Skill RPA. So in the last 5 sessions, to the series of real-time use cases, supply chain management. In the first video, we discussed about the requirement workshop, like requirement walkthrough, what is actually the requirement, and then we started with the process definition document, and we completed we did the process design document in 4 videos. One is like how we are going to create as is flow, and then to be flow, and then like how we will be preparing the PDD document, and then we captured the detailed steps of the process. So for the PDD, I have uploaded in the document resources folder. So you can just go to the folder and you can access the process design document, definition document, and as is detailed steps. And this video, we are going to discuss like how we are going to give the effort estimation. What are the things we need to consider before giving the uh, efforts, and how we are going to define the timelines. So the tasks we need to capture, like infrastructure setup for development, and let us say it will be for 4 hours, and we need to consider like other blockers also, like we are not sure, like sometimes we may come across a couple of other issues, unknown issues. So we need to consider everything, and we need to give the effort estimations. And after that, requirement gathering, and next task will be preparing process design document, and then preparing solution design document and project design. It is not process design, it is definition. And then robot development, and then SIT, and then we need to give the buffer total efforts. So for requirement gathering, let us suppose we'll take 8 hours, and for preparing PDD will take 8 hours, and solution design it is 16 hours. So it depends on the complexity of the process as well. So we need to identify that. And then for development, it is 32 hours, and SIT will be we need to take the 20% of this total, and this total is 68 hours. So multiplied by 0.2, 13.6 hours, and buffer will keep sum multiplied by 0.3, and the total efforts will be, yeah, so this is my effort estimation for each task. And when it comes to the timelines, we need to see like what we are going to deliver the for each activity, in which week we are planning, and what are the deliverables. So let us take the activities from here itself. And after this, we will be having UAT, deployment hypercare. So we will be defining in which week we are going to do this. This is the first week for me, and this also will go in the first week. So also will go in the first week, and this will go in the second week. This will go in the fourth week, and fifth week, sixth week, seventh week, and let us say 10th week, ninth week, because generally the hypercare will be for 2 weeks, and we'll be providing the start and end days as per that calendar time when we are having that. And what are the deliverables we are going to have? Dev infrastructure setup, and we don't have any deliverables in the requirement gathering session. In this, we need to deliver the PDD document for review. And here we'll be going for the SDD for review. And we need to complete the development. Same activities, we are just writing it back. So we need to complete the SIT and UAT, prod production infrastructure setup and go live. And this is hypercare support. This is how we are going to define the timelines. And as a developer, why we need to have a why we need to know how we are going to define the timelines or efforts is, see, in case if architect or uh, or business want it early, and if we are in that case, we should be clear. Like let us suppose if there is a task and which will be uh, which usually will take more time, and we are not sure uh, and the business is in hurry and they are asking you to complete it fast, then we cannot go for a stringent timeline. So we need to give proper timelines or proper efforts as well, and by considering other things as well. Like see, when we are giving the timelines, for the requirement gatherings we don't have any dependency, and for infrastructure we don't have any dependency. And for the process design document and the solution design document, requirement gathering is the pre-dependency. So prerequisite. Without this requirement gathering, we cannot prepare these two documents. And without these documents and the development setup, we cannot start with the development. So we need to give the timelines in such a way that like the prerequisites should be fulfilled before we start with the next stage. And for efforts, like we should, developer should be clear about like how much time it is going to take for each task, and the developer who is going to give the development efforts. And development efforts is like we need to first play with the application, and then we will be giving for each task of the development. And here this is a high level efforts, but as a developer we should be giving this development efforts uh, in step by step. Let me go here, development efforts. So when it comes to development efforts, let us take in this way. You can say for our use case, opening supply chain management application and procurement anywhere application, and extracting data PO numbers from supply chain management, extracting PO details from procurement anywhere application, Extract- entering PO details in supply chain management application. So with this, we're done with our actual process. So now we need to write exception handling and email notifications. And now we need to go with integration. We need to define in this way. Total effort. Let us suppose for this it is taking 1 hour, and let us put 2 hours, 2 hours, and 2 hours, and this is 2 hours. And exception handling and email notifications will be, I just need to adjust these things, right? For uh, 32 hours, or else like we'll change this back, like based on these efforts we are going to reflect the back in effort sheet. So for exception handling and email notification, I can say 5, and for integration I'll say 8, because we need to set up the RE framework and all. So let me go for the count here, which is 21, and so we'll change this to 21. But before that, what we need to write is insert unit testing. Unit testing will go under the development only here in RPA. So, and the unit testing, let us say I'll go for 8, and exception handling I'll say 6, and this is 10, and the total efforts is 32. I got 32. So the same. So this is how a developer needs to give the efforts, and this is overall efforts for the project. In the next video, we will be seeing like how we are going to prepare our solution design document, followed by the development. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Skill RPA.